Alright, friends, continuing with the chapter, we are going to be talking about cyberbullying. Now, cyberbullying is something that can be easily avoided if the persons involved in the mentoring of the comment section are, more alert to such messages. The use of information, cyberbullying is the use of information and communication technologies to support deliberate, repeated, and hostile behavior by an individual or group that is intended to harm others. Now, there are many widgets and software applications available for you to install within your comment section, and you need to feed certain keywords and any other keyword areas or any offending language. You need to fill those words in that application, and what happens is that the application is able to read any messages that contain these keywords and report back, create an alert or a red flag, and you can address it accordingly. Cyberbullying versus cyberstalking and the possible damage of cyberbullying. So we all know that cyberbullying, cyberstalking, which means following the person everywhere they go in the cyber environment, and there are lots of damages involved with cyberbullying, especially if the victim is a teenager or underage, because they start believing the cyberbully, and once they start believing, they start hurting themselves. So many other harmful behaviors that need to be weeded out of your e-commerce website. But the best way that you can prevent such unfortunate events is when you are fully aware of how to what to watch out for. So this is the purpose of this chapter, to be able to educate you of the kind of nuances and the kind of problems to watch out for in the cyber dealing environment. Consumer buyer protection, representative tips and sources for your protection, third party assurance services, protection by third party intermediary, trustees or trustmark, Better Business Bureau, which one to trust, and Web Trust Seal and others, and evaluation by consumers. So there are many third party assurance services for consumer buyer protection. For example, if you look at this guy here, Better Business Bureau, let's type that out. Better Business Bureau. Okay, and what they have, okay, this is the physical location in the United States. Start with trust, that's what they say. Many agencies like these, what they do is they create a list of rules and regulations and laws to protect the consumer, and these rules, if they are followed by any companies, they get the Better Business Bureau seal. This logo is awarded to websites that evaluate positively through these people. BBB accredited only. Okay, and see all locations. Okay, find a business. Yes, find a business. Any business that is BBB certified. Okay, what happens is that these people, US and Canada, okay, let's look for something in Virginia. Okay, this is the Council of BBB in Arlington, Washington, D.C., Richmond, Roanoke, and Norfolk. Alright, what I'm trying to tell you here is that the programs here, consumer education programs here, it's a very good idea to read this website. Okay, what happens is that they create services, they create rules and regulations that if any business follows them, if anybody follows them, they get the seal of BBB. Okay, and they also offer a lot of advising and education blogs that are very beneficial. And this is the BBB, yes, this is what I was looking for, BBB directory. Okay, something in, let me check which state to check. Okay, Washington DC. And this should give me the list of all businesses that are approved, screened, approved and monitored. Okay, search BBB accredited businesses. Yes, here I want to search here Metro Washington DC. All of these businesses are like home improvement businesses. This is exactly what I was trying to show you. And yes, let me just go here. What I'm trying to show you is that if people come across a site, okay, if people come this is accredited business. What happens is if people come across sites or websites that have a BBB seal and versus don't have a BBB seal, what happens is that people tend to choose to do business with people they can trust. BBB is a consumer protection service provider, and they will evaluate your business and see if you evaluate positively, if you pass their test, and then they will accredit it you, so that when consumers are looking for a service, for example Potomac Garage Solutions, and they will, on a scale of A plus to F, A plus, and reason for rating is 13. Length of time of business has been operating. Factors that raise the rating of Potomac Garage Solutions: length of time business has been operating, complaint volume filed with BBB for business of this size, response to 4 complaints, resolutions of complaint. So people file complaint to BBB on these sites, and if this business is able to solve the problems, they get a better rating. Okay, so these people have been in business since 2006 March 29. Okay, and all of these people, BBB accreditation. Okay, and complaints, they had 2 complaints, I think that's what they said. Yes, 1 complaint on billing and collection issues, problems with product to service, 3 complaints, and total closed complaints 4, which means 1 plus 3 is 4. All of these complaints have been solved. Can you see this? I mean, this is so transparent. This is a public database. Anybody can look at this database and decide if they want to do business with them or not. It's such a wonderful resource or a tool to evaluate a business. Okay, there's 1 review. Okay, and they have a positive review. What is a BBB review? We offer free reviews on businesses that include background, licensing, consumer experience, and other information such as governmental actions that is known to BBB. These reviews are provided for businesses that are BBB accredited and also for businesses that are not BBB accredited. Okay, so in this way, a third party assurance service like BBB, Better Business Bureau, is able to provide you with extra information to make you more confident in your decision to go ahead with the company. So apart from Better Business Bureau, you have Web Trust and Seal. Okay, let's check this out. I opened up the site here, Web Trust. Highly recommended. After BBB, please try to read this. And they have principles and criteria that give them, this is a list of criteria: third party assurance providers related to SSL service certificates, okay, secure service layer certificates, validation certificates, all of this, seals and everything else, all the certifications, evaluation, the criteria, everything is provided here, and you have to evaluate against these points. Monitoring Web Trust seals. Once trust services seal is issued, the client may continue to display the seal on its website, provided the client obtains an updated unqualified practitioner's report on a regular basis. So you can also use seals. This is the WebTrust seal. Okay, and not everybody can use that. Only people who seek services, they use that. Practitioner may use the seal illustratively in connection with the explanation of the purpose of the WebTrust program and the meaning of WebTrust seal. May not use the seal to promote services on letterhead or any other products or merchandise. So these are the regulations. Okay, and you can contact them and get your website a trust seal, which means it gives an assurance to the people who visit the website that the site is monitored in terms of how safe it is, how safe the data coming in and going out of the website is, in terms of privacy and other issues, and many other things that are being monitored, so people feel safer and they want to stay on the website and provide more information to the website. So apart from Better Business Bureau and WebTrust Seal and others, you have evaluation by customers. All the time customers are evaluating your site and giving you comments and feedback. Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFFA, you can check it out as well. It is a major computer crime law to protect government computers and other internet connected computers. So these people, they provide their policymakers and they reinforce their policies. If anybody breaks any kind of law, they are subject to criminal charges. In the cyber world, seller protection, what can sellers do? Okay, sellers can also do the same what the buyers can do. Sellers can also seek protection from agencies, third party agencies, and if the site is protected or sealed by those third party agencies, sellers can approach them directly. So the same set of features and protection is available for sellers as well. Protecting buyers and sellers' electronic and digital signatures. So electronic signature is a generic technology neutral term that refers to various methods by which one can sign an electronic record, and remember, checking a checkbox is one of them. If you check a checkbox, it means you're also giving your consent, and it's a form of an electronic signature. Authentication and biometric controls and fraud detecting systems, government regulation of e-commerce. So authentication and other controls and fraud detecting systems are also a part of ethical and legal safety issues. Net neutrality provided by the FCC, taxation of electronic commerce transaction. Taxation is the process whereby charges are imposed on individuals or property by the legislative branch of the federal government and by many state governments to raise funds for public purposes. So taxes are always applied, provided if you live in an area where taxes are enforced, so taxation is always there, and people who conduct business in a taxation area are always monitored whether they are charging for taxes or not. Internet censorship by countries. Internet censorship is the control or suppression of publishing or accessing of information on the internet. A very good example, in the UAE, a lot of internet censorship has taken place because of the traditions and practices and many other political influences that lead to make sure that there is a certain degree of censorship over the internet, which prevents people from viewing regulatory compliance systems or departments in an organization whose job is to ensure that personnel are aware of and take steps to comply with relevant laws, standards, policies, and regulations. Alright, let me stop the video here. Regulatory compliance is nothing but making sure that you follow the certificates, you follow the seals, you follow the criteria and issues, and everything else is always you are under the radar. Okay, So that's what it means, that you are always complying. Let me stop this video here. Up next, I'm going to talk about international compliance. And in the international compliance, I'm going to talk about copyright issues again. So let's just stop this video, and I'm going to devote another video to international compliance issues. Take care.